Hi again, everyone. I am the Cantankerous Collector. This is episode number 131. My eBay store is Death by Buffalo. Death by Buffalo. I saw a lot of pop culture and comic book related stuff, so check it out when you get a chance. So, Jaws is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. Jaws was released to theaters in the U.S. on June 20th, 1975. As a Jaws collector for the last several decades, I was anxious and interested to see what type of merchandise was going to be released this year in conjunction with the 50th anniversary. Of course, there's a ton of Jaws stuff out there as it is. You know, they've the last decade we've seen a bunch of Jaws items. In '75, Jaws was marketed very well, and we got a bunch of stuff then. Jaws 2, we saw a bunch of stuff. The '80s was the '90s was hardly anything, and then I think as the baby boomers and Gen X started getting older, they started releasing more Jaws items. And like I said, the last 10, 15 years, we've seen a bunch of stuff. In fact, I have this. My sissy bought this for me. She ordered this for me, and it finally came in, and she sent it to me, and I was really happy. I didn't have this in my collection. I had seen it, but she bought me the Jaws Lego set with the orca and the trio and Bruce. And so this was a real pleasant surprise to get this. And so shout out to my sissy. So, there's a ton of Jaws stuff. I mean, if you're a Jaws collector completist, I mean, rest in peace, because I don't know how you're going to do it, especially with all of this 50th anniversary stuff that's coming out. There are schloads and schloads of items being released. Now, some of it's pretty cool. Some of it's not very cool at all. Some of it's licensed. Some of it's not licensed, and I'm not against buying unlicensed stuff if it's really cool, but there's a ton of stuff coming out. And at my age now, I'm slowing down. I mean, I certainly can't buy everything. I don't want everything, but I've got to be real choosy and real picky because I've got enough stuff as it is, and things are getting, way overpriced now. I mean, it's gotten real ridiculous, the cost of some of this stuff. But if, there's something that's really cool, I mean, it's hard to say, oh, no, I'm not going to buy that, but so I don't know if any of you've seen these items online. I get blitzed with, Jaws ads and stuff. They know I'm a collector, so I see a lot of this stuff. And when I first saw this about a month ago, I flipped. I was like, holy cow, this looks amazing. Look at this. I'm not a drinker or anything, so the whole whiskey angle here doesn't really appeal to me. But this decanter and the shape and design of it was awesome. I mean, I'll fill this bitch with cranberry juice, And I'm like looking at this thinking, take my money, just take it. I mean, these were cool, and they were doing a bunch of them. I mean, look at this. What is this? The Jaws Pit Bull decanter? I don't know, but it looked really cool. My hands were balls deep in my pockets looking for extra change for this stuff. And so I'm ready to drop bank. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute, slow down. Slow down. These are renderings. They're not actual pictures of the items. In fact, these may be AI. And this may be a case where they created the AI image and then sculpted or produced the product. I don't know. They even did a Godzilla. Look at this. That is boss applesauce. I'll fill this bitch with apple juice. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. But these renderings I knew were just too good to be true. There's no way that this item is going to look this cool. And then I start looking a little closer at one of these, and at the label at the bottom, they misspelled the word celebration. And so we get celebration, which immediately leads me into song. Celebrate good times. Come on. Da, 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 da. Let's celebrate. Anyways, I did think, well, I can't be the only one that's seeing this. Somebody must have ordered this, and they would have posted it online, whether it's really cool or whether it looks like crap. And sure enough, if you go online, I won't post the pictures here, but there are people that have ordered this, and they've shown pictures of it, and it looks nothing like these renderings. It's kind of sad, and I think a lot of these people are trying to return the items. They have these Jaws coffee mugs, these 50th anniversary Jaws coffee mugs that they're producing, and these things like blew me away. I'm like, man, this is awesome. You can really do this? There's no way. I mean, time out, man. Look at this. I mean, these are really cool looking. I mean, come on, knock it off. But then, you look at it a little longer and you're like, wait a minute. What the hell's all these fins? What's going on here? Your artificial intelligence took a dump and no one noticed. It's a scam. It's a goddamn scam. Come on now, celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah, yeah. Whether it's AI or not, it could just be a computer rendering, 3D program that they're using to show these. There's other companies that show renderings of the products that they're putting up for order or soliciting, and so this isn't the first time I've seen something like this. But I think with AI though, it's probably going to become a real big problem. But the coolest thing that has been released for the 50th anniversary, of course, are these NECA these NECA 7-inch action figures, which these are awesome. I mean, these are some of the best Jaws collectibles ever made. Forget the anniversary. Just having these is really cool. I mean, if you have a Jaws collection, I mean, these are no-brainers, Don't sleep on these because these are awesome. So Matt Hooper here comes with 4 different heads. 4 different heads. I mean, that's so cool. That's awesome. And he's got his boat hook, his styrofoam cup, and one that's all mangled up, and his shark dart repeater, and the air tank, and duffel bag. A real great set of accessories for this figure. Quint comes with 3 heads, his harpoon gun, his rifle, the baseball bat he uses to smash the radio, his machete, and a couple of beer cans. Both figures come with switch out arms, so you can pose them with different wardrobe combinations. I don't know how deep NECA is going into this line. I hope they go deeper. Of course, we could get, Hooper and his scuba gear. And I was going through some of the clips from Jaws, just looking at all the different clothing combinations that these guys wore. And there's a ton of different clothing options. And of course, these figures are made with switch outs and stuff where you can have the character in some of the different wardrobe that he wore in the movie. But there's more wardrobe combinations that they could do, by releasing a couple more figures of these characters. The likeness, the paint job, the sculpting of the clothing is just incredible. We need the sport jacket and tie option that he wore when he went over to play footsies under the table with the chief's wife. I didn't know what you'd be serving my ass. Dancing on the edge, about to take it too far. Messing with my head, how I mess with your heart. If you wake up in your bed, alone in the dark, I'm sorry. Gotta leave before you love me. Leave before you love me. Leave before you love me. You all know me. Know how I earn a living. I'll catch this bird for you, but it ain't gonna be easy. Bad fish. Not like going down the pond chasing bluegills or tommycods. This shark, swallow you whole. Little shaking, little tenderizing, down you go. This is a great Quint figure. This is awesome. They did a really good job on this. I bought 4 of these just so I could display all of the wardrobe combinations. I mean, this is really cool to have as a Jaws collector. You're certifiable, Quint. You know that? I used to think he said you should have filed one, Quint, as in like filing an SOS. And I mean, I thought that, for the longest time until I watched it with subtitles. And I'm like, certifiable. I'd never heard anyone use that phrase before, but I say that all the time now to people acting a fool. You're certifiable, you know that? And then every now and then I'll slip in you should have filed one, you know that? And they're like, what does that mean? Two on, two out, crowd on their feet, flag blowing left or right, Sox down by 2. Quint at the plate, he's 1 for 4 with an RBI double in the third. Pitcher sets, 3-1 count, the pitch. There's a drive hit deep to left field. This could be, it is a game-winning 3-run homer for the Shark Hunter. The crowd is going berserk. A little shaking, a little tenderizing, down you go. I can only imagine the amount of work that goes into producing these. All of the talent and design and coordination, and it's really it's amazing what they're able to do. And the switch out parts are really cool, really add to this whole thing, and all the accessories. I hope they go deeper. I could use another Hooper and Quint figure, with more switch outs. So we'll see, but wow. This is really cool stuff. Of course, they're missing somebody here. you got Hooper, and you got Quint, and who's missing? Chief Brody. And I've read that that's a licensing issue and has to do with the Roy Scheider estate. And I'm not privy to any of that. I mean, there's a lot of rumors and stuff that go on online and stuff, but I don't know if that's something that they're continually working on to try to secure a license for the likeness of Roy Scheider so they can then make figures like this. But I don't know, it's it sucks for us. Of course, it'd be cool to get the shark, That's kind of a no-brainer. I don't know what's in the plans. I've seen rumors. I've seen a picture of what looked to be the shark that they would have produced, but I'm not sure any of that's happening. I've been collecting like I said, for decades, all types of stuff. And that's one of the biggest issues with collecting lines, particular lines of characters, These companies rarely finish what they start. And so you there's always like one character that's missing, it's like, and so it is what it is. But these are awesome, and they're pricey, but they're worth it. I I mean, these are definitely worth it. And obviously, we wouldn't have gotten these to look this good, 10 years ago. So we've waited a long time for these, but it's been worth it. I hope they go a little deeper in this line. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're going to get next, if we get anything at all. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. I got another Jaws episode coming up, and I will see you soon.